Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So I haven't done one of these in a while and I thought I would do one today. So today I'm going to be doing the favorite makeup look series that I've been doing on my channel. I'm going to be doing another one of those videos today. So I created this kind of like special occasion makeup or like a going out makeup look. First I'm going to start by doing the brows. I'm going to take the Benefit Precicely My brow pencil. I'm going to take the spoolie side first and just brush up the brow hairs with this. Oh, this is in shade 2, by the way. I'm going to fill in the brows. This is like one of my favorite brow pencils ever. I tried the Goof Proof one as well, and nothing beats this one. It's just so nice. Then I'm going to take this spoolie again and just brush through to kind of soften the brows a little. Then, for an extra detail, I'm going to take the NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Tint Pen. This one is in taupe. I'm just going to place this in any sparse areas. Then I'm going to take a spoolie. I'm going to take the Morphin M153 brush, take the spoolie side, and just go through the brows one last time. To carve out the brows, I'm going to use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I'm first going to apply some on the back of my hand. I'm just going to take my Morphe and L'Oreal brush number A19. I'm going to take this side of the brush, and I'm going to use this to carve out my brows. I'm going to pick up a little bit more and put it on the back of my hand. I'm going to do the bottom of the brow now. So I'm going to take my beauty blender now, oops, and I'm going to blend the concealer. Okay, now I'm going to take my e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm out of an eyeshadow primer right now, so I love to use this as a primer. I'm going to take the Anissa Beauty Eye Prime brush, and I'm just going to prime the eyes with this. Next, I'm going to set the primer with the Maybelline Fit Me Translucent Powder. Now I'm going to go into one of my favorite palettes. This is the Natasha Denona Glam palette. And we are first going to use the transition shade. And I'm going to use the Morphe and L'Oreal brush number A25. And this is just going to go in the crease of my eye. And I'm going to also kind of blend it up towards the brow as well. Okay, next I'm going to take the color Blend, which is this one. We're going to go slightly below the transition shade. I'm going to go slightly below the transition shade. Then I'm going to go into the shade Smoke. I'm going to place this on the outer part of the eye. Kind of close the lash line first, and then kind of blend it up towards the crease. And kind of with what's left, I'm going to blend it in. Then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take the color Lash Line, and I'm going to add a tiny bit of that just on the outer part of the eye. I'm going to take my big fluffy blending brush here and just blend a little bit of that. Now I want to take a makeup wipe, and I'm going to just clean up the edges of this a little bit. Next, I'm going to take the color Center Eyelid on the bottom row, and we are going to place this on the center of the lid. Then I'm going to take a brush this time, let's see. I'm going to take the inner corner shade on the top row and apply this to the inner part of the eye. And then with my finger again, I'm going to go into the center eyelid shade that we used in the center and then just kind of blend where the two colors meet. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush and just blend colors. Before I do eyeliner, I want to add a little bit of sparkle. So I'm going to take the ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Mighty Morphin. I'm going to just apply this right on top of the shimmer shades on the lid. Alright, so really quickly off camera, I applied my eyeliner. I used the Graftopian Cream Foundation. They're like the mini size ones, I think. And this one is in black. And then for mascara, I used my L'Oreal Lash Paradise mascara. This is the waterproof one. And for lashes, I used my favorite lashes of all time. These are the Ardell Faux Mink lashes in 815. They're, like I said, my favorite ones. They're just amazing. So now let's go on to the complexion. I'm going to take the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. I'm going to apply it only on the T-zone first, and then with my fingers, I like to kind of spread it out with what's left. So I'm just using my fingers and just spread all the primer out on the rest of my face. For this look, I want to really, since it is kind of like a special occasion makeup, I really want to add kind of like the details to this look. So I'm actually going to use two foundations. So I'm going to use the RCMA foundation palette with the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating foundation. I want something that's hydrating and then something that is full coverage. So I'm going to take my mixing palette and a palette knife here. I'm going to first dip into the RCMA foundation palette. Normally, the shade that I would use is this one. I'm going to take a tiny bit of this, pretty much like that much. That's not really a tiny bit, but that's okay. So I'm just going to put this on the mixing palette. And then I do about one squirt of the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. Then with my mixing knife, I'm going to mix the two foundations together. I was going to do it on the back of my hand, but I thought I would do it on the mixing palette here. So I just created kind of like my custom formula with these two foundations. First, I'm actually going to apply something else before we apply the foundation. Take my e.l.f. Halo Glow. This one is in shade 2. I'm going to just randomly apply it. And with this, I tried to do it with my hands. I didn't like it. Blending it in with my hands. I blend it in with a brush now. So I'm going to take the Anissa Beauty Pinnacle Foundation brush to blend the Halo Glow. I could have put some of the Halo Glow in the foundation mixture as well, but I just kind of like to do it this way. Okay, now that that is all blended in, I'm going to take what's on the palette knife first and just kind of spread it around all over my face. I normally could use this and just blend it in, but sometimes it's not enough, so I go in with what's on the actual mixing palette. And that's what we're going to do right now. So I'm going to take my favorite foundation brush. This is the Anissa Beauty All Over Face Brush. I'm just going to dip into this little mixture and kind of take off some of the excess foundation so there's not too much of it on the brush. I'm just going to start kind of blending it in, and I like to focus it first on the cheeks because that's where I have blemishes, redness, so I like to start there. And I do go over the under eye area. I normally don't, when I do these two foundations together, I don't put concealer under the eye. I got foundation on my lash. But what's left on the mixing palette that we used down here, or that we kind of took off of the brush, I'm going to take my beauty blender. I'm going to spray my setting spray just to get the beauty blender just a little bit damp. I'm going to dip into excess foundation that we have. I can dip in a little bit here as well, but normally. And then I'm going to just press the foundation in. Okay, now we can put the mixing palette aside. I'm now going to do some contouring. I'm going to take the RCMA foundation palette again. We are actually going to use kind of a cooler tone shade. I'm going to take this shade here. This is like the perfect contouring shade for me, for my skin tone. So I'm going to take this. This is the BK Beauty angled small fluffy brush. And I'm just going to start kind of contouring the face. I like to start on the cheeks first, just so I can get like a good idea of how I want to start contouring. I do the contouring of the nose last because I feel like that's the hardest for me to do. So I leave that for last. Normally I should have done highlighting first and then contouring. That's my bad. I'm gonna do some highlighting now. I'm gonna take my Morphe and L'Oreal brush number E19, and I'm going to take the lightest shade in the RCMA foundation palette, and we are going to start highlighting. So I like to go in the under eye area first, kind of go like right up against the nose, so it's easy for me to contour the nose when we contour in a little bit. Kind of like right there, kind of move it in a little bit more, and then blend it up. And I like to do the highlighting on the nose first and then go into contouring. I get the chin, Cupid's bow. And I like to flip the brush. I like to use the smaller side to highlight the nose. I'm going to go in the center of the nose. Center is always kind of tricky for me. It's like I always make it a little bit crooked. I go back to this brush to contour the nose because I like the slant of this brush for when contouring the nose and for contouring in general. And again, I don't know if I'm doing the nose right as well because I'm still kind of new to contouring the nose. I'm also going to kind of create that like button shaped nose thing. I don't know if I made that. I think I made that too big. Now we can start blending everything. Okay, so for blending the highlight and contouring, I'm going to take the NYX Beauty Angled Concealer Brush, and I like to use this to blend in all the highlighting areas. And I blend the highlight first. I have to really be careful not to blend in the contouring when I blend the nose. Sometimes I do it all the time since this brush is too fat. So I normally kind of pinch the brush, but kind of worked out time, so I didn't need to. When blending in the contour, I love to use my beauty blender. So for the cheek contour, I'm going to actually let's do the jawline contour first. So I'm going to use this side of the beauty blender to blend that, and then like to switch the brush and the beauty blender and use the point side to kind of blend the cheek contour and kind of pinch your beauty blender too. Now we can go back to my Maybelline Fit Me translucent powder. I'm going to set the under eye area, or no, I'm going to set the T-zone with this first, and then we're going to use another powder to set the outsides of the face. With a bigger brush, I'm going to take this one from Morphe. This is the gold face brush set. I'm going to take the Bare Minerals Original Foundation in Fairly Light. I'm almost out of this powder foundation. This one is my favorite. I think I got this one when I was going to go to exchange my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist because the nozzle wasn't working, and the nozzle that I got still didn't work. So I ended up just getting this and the Morphe setting spray, which still doesn't work. I'm going to now do some bronzing. So I'm going to take the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in bronzer, by the way. And I'm going to take the Real Techniques powder brush and just start bronzing the face. I'm kind of going to do the cheek area and the forehead. That's pretty much the only places where I like to bronze up the face. I'm actually going to do something in the eyes. I'm going to take my Jaffa Powder Blush in Rose Oro, and this is the Anissa Beauty Angled Cheek Brush. I'm going to apply this to the cheeks. and on the nose as well, and the forehead. Like I said a little bit ago, I'm going to take this blush. I'm going to actually apply it slightly in the crease. I'm just finding a brush here to use. Let's use this one. So I'm going to take the Sephora blending crease brush, and I'm going to take a tiny bit of the blush. I'm just going to slightly put it in the crease. I love doing this when I want to kind of like keep the look very cohesive. That's pretty much only when I do like special occasion makeup. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. Then I'm gonna take the NYX lip liner in mauve and line my lips with this. Next, I'm gonna use the NYX Powder Puff Lippy in Squad Goals. So for setting spray, I'm going to use two setting sprays. I'm going to use the Revolution Hydrate and Fix Radiance Makeup Fixing Spray. This is going to go on the center of the face. And then on the outsides of the face, I'm going to use the NYX Bear With Me Multitasking Setting Spray. So now it's time for the Bible verse of the day. The Bible verse of the day is kind of a long one, so I'm actually going to be putting it into the description so you guys enjoyed today's video and see you guys in the next one. Bye!